Once upon a time, in a big, sunny forest, a mighty lion was taking a lovely afternoon nap under the shade of a giant tree. He let out a big, sleepy sigh, and his whiskers twitched as he drifted off to dreamland. Nearby, a tiny little mouse was scurrying through the tall green grass, her nose twitching as she searched for yummy seeds and berries. Squeaked. She whispered to herself, darting this way and that. In her hurry, she didn't see where she was going and, oh dear, she ran right across the lion's huge furry paw. The lion's eyes flew open with a mighty roar that shook the leaves on the trees. "Who dares wake me from my nap?" he bellowed, his deep voice echoing through the forest. The little mouse froze in her tracks, her tiny heart thumping with fear. She looked up at the giant lion and trembled from the tip of her nose to the end of her tail. "Oh, please, mighty lion," she squeaked, her voice barely a whisper. "Please don't eat me. It was an accident, I promise. I didn't mean to wake you. If you let me go, I promise, one day I might be able to help you." The lion looked down at the tiny creature and let out a great big laugh. "Ha ha ha. You help me. You're far too small to ever help a king like me." But the lion was in a good mood, and the mouse's bravery made him smile. "All right, run along then, little one," he said with a softer voice. "Be more careful next time." The little mouse couldn't believe her luck. She scurried away as fast as her little legs could carry her, calling back, thank you, mighty lion. I will never forget your kindness." A few days later, as the lion was proudly strolling through his kingdom, he suddenly stepped right into a trap. A net made of thick, strong ropes sprang up from the ground, pulling him high into the air. He was caught. He twisted and turned. He pulled and he tugged. But the ropes were too strong. He was completely stuck. Feeling scared and helpless, the lion roared with all his strength. "Help! Somebody, please! Help me." His roars traveled all across the forest, reaching the ears of the very same little mouse he had set free. She recognized the voice of her friend, the lion. "That's the lion. He's in trouble." She said to herself, "I must help him." Feeling very brave, she followed the sound of the roars. She found the lion tangled in the net, high above the ground. Without a second thought, she climbed up the tree the net was tied to and scurried onto the ropes. "Don't worry, my friend," she squeaked. "I'm here to help." And she began to gnaw on the thick ropes with her sharp little teeth. Nibble, nibble, she went, working as fast as she could. It was hard work, but she didn't give up. Slowly but surely, one rope snapped, then another and another. The lion felt the net loosening. Finally, with one last nibble, the main rope broke, and the whole net came crashing down. The mighty lion was free. He stood up, shook his magnificent mane, and looked down at the tiny mouse in amazement. "Little one," he said, his voice full of wonder, "you saved me. I was wrong to laugh at you. I never believed someone so small could help someone so big. Thank you, my friend. You are truly a hero." The mouse smiled, her whiskers twitching with pride. "See, She said that even the tiniest creatures can make a big difference. Kindness is never wasted. From that day forward, the lion and the mouse became the very best of friends. They were an unusual pair, but they showed everyone in the forest that it doesn't matter how big or small you are. True friendship and a kind heart are the strongest things of all, and they lived happily ever after, always ready to help anyone in need. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories.